Hello, this is RICKY, the YouTube Tech Guy. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Mobile Weekly / Mobile Q&A, where we go over all latest news that happened during the week in the world of mobile and tech and answer all of your questions live. Now, before we start off, I did want to let you guys know about a new addition to the YouTube Tech Guy's website, and that is that I wanted to created a new feature for you guys to go onto the website for. So what I did was, since we don't have as many people on Facebook, I actually uploaded all the OLED wallpapers to the website. Now, these are 4K and 8K wallpapers. However, I do use Weebly, and they are limiting it to about a 720p resolution. So I am trying to upgrade the resolution. I'm trying to see if I can pay Weebly in order to upload it at the full 4K and 8K resolutions that they originally came in at, so we can have it. But on the meantime, if you do want to update your wallpapers, you can go right here on the website, and we have a section called OLED wallpapers. And when you click on it, you can see these beautiful resolutions. Again, as of right now, these are going to be 720p instead of the 2K and 4K that they originally are at, but it's something really nice, and they look amazing on OLED displays. So go ahead and check it out, and they really just look awesome, and I think you'll be very happy with them. This is one of my favorites. It's on one of my phones right now, so they're really beautiful. I think you'll really like them. And again, there's about, I want to say there's over 200 OLED wallpapers here, so make sure to go ahead and check out the website for that and to download some free wallpapers. Alright, now let's get into the first bit of topic, and Samsung has publicly stated about the Note 8. A Samsung official from Korea has stated, again, this is the fourth time that Samsung has publicly stated that the next phone will be the Note 8. And their exact words from the Samsung Electronics official were, "We made every effort to install a display integrated fingerprint scanner on the Galaxy Note 8, but we decided not to install on this strategic phone due to various technical limitations such as security." So by this, and this is a translation, mind you, from Korean, but this official is saying that they will not have a fingerprint scanner on the phone. Now, I know there's lots of other rumors going around. I only want to talk about official stuff that Samsung publicly states for themselves, but there have been a lot of rumors going around with all of this going on right now. So I will say this, that right now, a lot of rumors are saying that no, the final design does have the fingerprint scanner on the front of the screen. Now, some just say it's not on the back. What would you guys think about a Note 8 without a fingerprint scanner at all? I'm really curious. Do you guys feel that maybe you can just use an iris scanner now? Would you guys want maybe the fingerprint scanner where the power button is? What would you guys think about a non-fingerprint scanner Note 8? Or where would you want it if it's not on the screen, and if it's not on the back, the side? Sony's done it. Sony has done the fingerprint scanner on the power button. So I'd be really interested to see how this would go about. I'm really curious to see what you guys think in the comment section down below. Now, that's not the only thing. This was the official news that happened this week. However, speaking of leaks, we do have some leaks claiming that this is the final version of the iPhone 8 and 7s Plus. Now, if you have been watching our channel for a while, you know that I strongly believe that it will not be called the iPhone 8. It will be called either the Apple phone or the iPhone X. And these are leaks of the final design. So this is the leak for the next flagship iPhone, so the Apple phone or the iPhone X. And it looks like the 7S Plus will look pretty much identical to last year's. It doesn't look like the design has changed really. At least I cannot see any outstanding change other than it has right now. So I don't see any big change coming for the iPhone 7 Plus, but I do see obvious change that we've seen on the iPhone X. However, the big thing about it that I'm curious about is this right here. this does not show a fingerprint scanner on the back, which I'm guessing they would have. I mean, it's measurements, so they don't have to have it. They don't have the Apple logo on here. They also don't have the fingerprint scanner on the 7S Plus, where we know where that one is. That one's on the front of the screen. But it's interesting, like, where is this fingerprint scanner going to be? Did they get the fingerprint scanner on the screen? Where is it going to be? The big thing about the fall phones, you know, the phones that are going to come out from Samsung, from iPhone, and we'll see how LG and everyone else in the Pixel do it. Where is the fingerprint scanner going to be? Is one of the biggest versions and biggest features that's going to be answered this year. Can we get fingerprint scanners on a screen that work securely and that can be produced enough? Now, this iPhone X is going to be $1,069. So, that's for the entry level version. So, that being said, Apple won't sell as many of these as they do their 7S and 7S Plus, or at least that's what they believe. But if they do end up selling it, man, you're going to talk about pushing Apple these phones until probably December. And there is still talk about Apple delaying this phone, meaning it will not come out its normal time, the third week of September, that it could go push back till October. That is a very interesting thing if that does happen, and I'm just very curious to see how will this all go down. If Apple doesn't launch in the normal time, how will that affect everything, and how will launches happen this year? This is a year where we could see technology push release dates, which is rare, but it has happened before, and it could happen again. All right, let me just load these up again. They kind of ran back. All right, so the first bit of news is also that OnePlus 5 has officially been announced for their launch event happening on June 20th. Now, I'll definitely stay tuned to see all the details that we're going to be getting from OnePlus 5. However, I have reached out to them. I haven't heard back from them yet on getting a review unit, but we hope to get one so that we can finally review the OnePlus 5. I know OnePlus is a phone that you guys have wanted me to review in the past. So, as always, if you want me to review it, you see right down below that at YouTube Tech Guy. Message them on Twitter, on Facebook, tag me in it, and say, hey, at OnePlus, send at the YouTube Tech Guy a review unit so we can see him review the OnePlus 5 and compare it to every flagship out in the market and see if it really does live up to its name, the flagship killer. Now, also, we got our first image of the device. So there's not too much surprise coming from this phone. That's the one thing. So it does have dual lenses on it. And we're not going to lie, it looks like an iPhone. It looks like an iPhone. It looks a little bit thinner than an iPhone, which is interesting. But it really, if someone showed you this and told you this is the next iPhone 8 or iPhone, 9 even, or something like that, it's a concept for the next iPhone, you would say, oh yeah, of course it is, because it looks like an iPhone. So that's the big thing about OnePlus 5, that I will say that it does look like that, but some people really like the iPhone design. I, for one, think it needs an update, it needs a refresh, so I'm really curious to see how this OnePlus will look, and I think it has to deal with the front too. I think Samsung and LG have made some bigger statements this year about how phones can look different on the front than just the back. It's always when you walked in a store and you saw a bunch of phones, they all look the same, really. So it's really kind of interesting to see how that's going to change this year, where the front might look different and the back isn't the only difference, because sometimes you had to turn the phone over just to see which brand it was because they were that similar on the front. Alright, and speaking of LG is releasing their LG Pro and their LG Plus, but only in Korea. So this is going to be in utilization to help launch the LG Pay service that's going to be launching on June 27th in Korea. Now, we do not expect these phones to be coming to the US in any measure. It looks like this is LG's version of an LTE-A variant that Samsung typically does. So, you know how this year Samsung released a 6 gig RAM model of the S8? in China and Korea, well, they've always done that. They've done that traditionally every single year, but only in Korea, and they typically called it the LTE-A model. Now, that has come out several times before. If you can check back, the S6 had it, the S7 had it, the S5 had it. I think the S5 was the first one, or maybe the S4 was the first one. But back then, it's been a version of that since then. And it always had just specs that mirrored the Note, actually. So that's an interesting thing, that it's always kind of like, oh, we're going to test out this processor, this RAM, or this whatever, and that is what we end up getting on the new Note. Now, we don't know if that'll happen again this year, but LG is now playing to that strength and kind of, oh, we'll beef up the phone and kick off it instead of just a new phone. They're kicking it off their pay service. Now, it's really interesting to see how this pay service will work, just because of the fact that I really haven't heard too much about it. I don't know if it's going to be like Samsung where it can use MST, or is it only going to use NFC? I feel like it has to use something more than NFC, because we already have so many NFC services. I mean, in Korea, they have their own service that uses NFC. You have NFC, obviously, from Android Pay and Apple Pay. It doesn't really do that much. Samsung is by far the leader in mobile payment right now, because MST works everywhere along with NFC. Instead of just having to have an NFC terminal, anywhere you can swipe a credit card, you can use MST. And finally, speaking of Samsung, of course, Evan Blass has posted, and I immediately said this back on my Twitter, if this is true, I will be upset. Unless Samsung sends me one. Samsung, send me one. A Coral Blue S8 and S8 Plus possibly finally coming to the US. Now, this isn't new for Samsung to do. It's a little bit frustrating at times, but Samsung has often had 2 more colors come out later in the year for the S series. One has typically come out during the summertime, and another one typically comes out during the holiday time. Last year, we got the blue that came out for the S7 Edge during the holidays, and then we had the rose gold pink one come out in the summertime. So this is nothing too new, but it's definitely interesting to see how this is all going down. But he says this is inbound, so again, it wouldn't be the first time we've seen Samsung refresh their colors, but I'm quite frankly getting annoyed with it. I really wish like all the colors would be just at the beginning. Let me know what you guys think. Would you guys want all the colors to be at the beginning so you don't miss out on a color that you would have wanted? I quite frankly would have loved to get the coral blue instead of the silver that I currently have, but it's not that I'm upset with the silver. I'm fine with it. I wish all the colors would come out personally, but let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. All right, now let's get to your questions in the comment section. We will answer all of them, so I'm going to scroll back up here and start to read all of your questions. I'm sorry if I do cough a little bit or anything like that at times. I started to feel like I'm getting a cold or something along those lines, so we'll see how it goes, but that's just kind of, I'm just not feeling 100% right now. All right. What do you think of the new gold PS4? Is it worth buying? Quite frankly, I love the silver variant. So there's a gold variant for the US, and in Europe, I believe they're having the silver and gold variant. I wish the silver was also coming to the US, because the silver reminds me of the iconic, very first PlayStation, and I like that throwback look. However, to be honest, it's a PlayStation 4 Slim. It's not a PS4 Pro. If I'm going to change, I currently have a PlayStation 4, so I'm only upgrading to a PS4 Pro if I upgrade. So for me, it doesn't do that much for me, but I'm curious to hear what you guys think. If you guys like the different colors, if that's enough to make you jump on it. For me, if they would do that to the Pro variant, I would be more excited. But I am so curious to what Sony's going to do at E3, because Xbox definitely threw down the gauntlet. Now we'll have to see what Sony's going to do to retaliate and see if they're going to win E3 or if they're just going to let Xbox run away with it. Now, to be fair, Xbox did not have really a lot of wow factor in terms of exclusives. They showed a lot of games, but out of all the games they showed, I think 2 were exclusive, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe 3, actually, I think. But nothing like that. I was like, man, I have a PS4 right now and I want an Xbox. Nothing that made me say that. So I'm very curious to see what Sony's going to do. Mexico 1, US 1. Oh, soccer game's on. My dad's probably watching it. How do you like the Xbox One X? I think they could have chosen a better name. I do think they could have chosen a better name. I think Xbox Scorpio would have been fine, to be honest. Xbox One X is kind of just like, okay. And why even call it the Xbox One X? Why not just call it the Xbox X or something like that? You didn't have to continue the one moniker, I would say, but it is what it is. Overall, the impressions are obvious, right? The first is their specs are way better than the PlayStation Pro. It's $100 more, but specs for spec, they are better. Let me just go over a couple just to give you an idea. The CPU, 8 cores versus 8 cores. However, you're clocked in at 2.3 on the Xbox One X. I'm just going to call it Xbox and PS4. But you guys know I'm talking about the Xbox One X and the PS4 Pro. So Xbox One X 2.3, PS4 2.1, 6 teraflops graphics on the Xbox, 4.2 on the PS4, 12 gigs of RAM on the Xbox, 8 gigs of RAM on the PS4. Both have 1 terabyte storage. The Xbox is smaller than the PS4. The Xbox is heavier at 8.4 pounds for 7.2, and the Xbox has 4K Blu-ray player, which the PS4 Pro does not. So overall, again, spec-wise, it's better. But here's the thing. Man, Xbox should have done this in the beginning. Xbox has been fighting a battle of we effed up when we launched this console. I mean, if you guys remember when the Xbox One E3, when it was kicked off and the PlayStation 4 kicked off, there has never been a bigger moment, I would say, at E3 that decided a console war than that one day. And that one day, Xbox did all the wrong moves, saying, online play only, you have no rights to your games, all this horrible things. And PlayStation was like, you can do whatever you want with it. We're less expensive, and we're more powerful. Drop the mic. And that was it. That was it. And there was never a more just like amazing ovation at E3 that I can remember, at least not in the past 5 years, easily, if not 10 years, than that moment. That was like the mic was dropped and PlayStation was winning this war, period. Now, a lot of years later, Xbox is really making the right moves, and you have to commend them for that. Whether developers will actually develop for Xbox instead of just PlayStation is the question. Now, this is what typically, at least from my understanding, and again, I'm not the biggest gaming expert, but how it's always been explained to me has been this. Developers usually develop for PS4. Then they port over to Xbox One and then fine-tune everything, which makes it obvious that the PS4 runs games better because it was made for the PS4 and then ported to the Xbox. That's obvious, right? But has Xbox now made it so great that people can actually use that to run on there and then not the PS4? That is the question. Will they get developers on board like, man, this is more powerful, let's do it over here? Now, I will say this, from what I understand, PlayStation's still easier to develop for, but I do not know enough about that to really say like, oh, that's a definite thing. From what I still understand, though, from day one when these two consoles came out, PS4 was easier to develop for than Xbox. If that's changed, by all means, let me know in the comment section down below. But at least in the beginning, that's what was. Because PS4 was built as a console on what do you need? We will make it to what you want. And that's why they did better. Whereas Xbox, when they launched, they have changed dramatically. No Kinect, nothing like that anymore. And offering a lot of amazing features. Xbox, when it launched, though, was like, We are an entertainment console for your living room. And they still do entertainment way better than PS4, in my opinion. However, when it comes to gaming, PS4 always has done better than Xbox One since launch. November 7th might change it all. That's when the Xbox One X launches. What was the wallpaper website? The wallpaper website is my website. You can find it in the description down below, but it is YouTube Tech Guy. YouTube Tech Guy. It was like it said YouTubeTechGuy.com. Spotify or Google Music? Both seem really close. What's your view? I have always loved Google Music. However, Spotify is a lot better off for most people. Here's my thing though. Google Music I have had since the beginning. So for me, I only pay $7.99, whereas most people pay $9.99, right? So already I get a $2 discount compared to Spotify, what I would be paying for there. So that's one thing that gets me, right? But YouTube Play also gives me Google Play Music also gives me YouTube Red, which allows me to skip all ads and save all my YouTube videos offline at 720p to view at a later time with no internet. So that, to me, is very valuable. The fact that I get both of those two services for one price of $7.99, or a new person could get a price for $9.99. Here's my other thing, though. It is better for integrating your old library. So say you have, like me, I have probably about over 10,000 songs as MP3s, right? So I have a lot of music. With that said, I was able to upload all of my songs to the cloud in Google Music for free. You can upload up to 50,000 songs on YouTube Play Music. And then you can create playlists with songs that you own and songs that you don't own to actually get the best experience. Not to mention, since day one, since day one, Google Music has been a better sound quality. Spotify upgraded their sound quality, but Google Music was always a very high-end sound quality compared to things like Apple Music and iTunes when it was released to be a far better sound quality. So overall, it feels like it's much better for that purpose. But again, it all depends on your preference. For me, Google Music has always been the easy choice, easy answer. However, I would say probably the popular answer would be Spotify. And to be fair, Spotify gets a lot of exclusives that Google Music doesn't. I mean, there are a lot of reasons to get Spotify. But for all my needs and for getting Google Music and YouTube Red in one price point, it's got to be Google Music for me. No. Oh, so the fingerprint, when I was talking about, no, need it. I just got used to using it. They can't stop now. LOL. No fingerprint would hurt it. Hi, I'm Luis. I'm the second Anthony Russo, coming soon. Samsung Note 8 2017. If there isn't a fingerprint scanner on the front or the back, I just use the iris scanner. I would as well. I use the iris scanner mainly, honestly, on my S8. I'm used to the S8 fingerprint scanner. I'm sure they will have a scanner somewhere, but where? That's the question, right? No fingerprint scanner should be needed. iPhone edition, yes. It's supposed to be called the iPhone edition. Yes, that is a version of the name too. So we have several names going out. I still do not believe it'll be called an iPhone 8. I know people have asked me, oh, if you're changing your tune, look how many more people are calling it an iPhone 8. They call it an iPhone 8 till the day of. But again, and I'm talking about in years past, if you look at every single tech site on years prior, they were not calling it the iPhone 5S. They were not calling it the iPhone 4S. They were calling it 6S. They were calling it the iPhone 7, the iPhone 6, and the iPhone 5. They were always calling it those, but that's not what we got. If you look back at my Instagram at the YouTube Tech Guy, I actually posted a funny meme, and it was like making fun of people that thought it was going to happen, because it was like, you actually thought it was going to be an iPhone 7, and Tim Cook laughing, basically. So yeah, that's basically what we're going to happen this year. But yeah, the rumors for the names are iPhone X, which is the one I said a long time ago, the Apple phone, which is a good solid choice because Apple's going so much Apple on their products now. And of course, the iPhone edition. Tried iOS 11 beta yet? I have not, but I have seen all of the features enough to start building a hidden features for when we do get the iPhone X in the studio. I will be able to do a hidden features video on it. I'm finding out a lot of the new hidden parts of iOS 11. I've watched like probably 20 videos on iOS 11's interface, so I really have a strong understanding of it and ready to go when it comes in. Fingerprint scanner is a must. If Samsung wants to stay ahead, don't make Apple release a screen and fingerprint scanner before them. That is true. I think that'll be the biggest stone too of whoever gets a fingerprint scanner on the screen more will, I feel, win this year. So I'm very concerned of who's going to make it happen. Now, the funny thing is that I understand if Samsung doesn't want to take a risk with a Note, though. I really do understand that because you don't want to take any risk with a Note this year. So maybe they're playing more timid for that reason. But if Apple can do it and Samsung can't, Apple will have a really strong reason why to get an iPhone over a Samsung. So I'm very curious to see how it turns out. iPhone is too pricey. Yeah, I mean, again, it could completely be. But that is what we're looking at. We're looking at the iPhone price point of $1,069 for the iPhone edition, whereas the 7S will be normal price, 7S Plus will be normal price, and this next one will be higher. Apple has claimed to make a breakthrough in the fingerprint scanner on the screen. Samsung has been disappointing lately. The new iPad specs through the roof? No. Honestly, the best part about the iPad is the screen frame rate now going at the hertz speed of 120 hertz. But other than that, no. Nothing wow factor of it. And it is arguable if my current Galaxy Tab S3 has a better screen than that one. Because although it doesn't have that high of a hertz, it's an OLED display as opposed to Apple still having an LCD, an outdated technology. Yes, theirs is brighter finally than their last iPad, but my Samsung is still brighter than that iPad. So no, I wouldn't say it's revolutionary. I would say the split screen interface and the multitasking and finally having a file manager, about time, Apple, is long overdue. But again, these are features that have been on other tablets. On Android, it was Samsung, and obviously the Surface with Windows that have been around for a long time. So I don't know if I would say that it's revolutionary or off the wall when other products have had it for a long time. If it's going to be over 1,000 iPhone, it could be able to take drops with no case. It will not be able to take drops with no case because it's going to be glass on glass as opposed to the metal that the iPhone 7S and 7S Plus will have. OnePlus 5 screen resolution 1080p or 2K. It's still looking like 1080p from what I've heard, but we'll have to wait and see. Do you know any good remote apps for an IR blaster? No, I haven't really used IR blaster. I used to use the ones that came with it, which was usually Peel. That was probably the best one that I ever used, and I still use it on my S6. I have an old S6 that I keep with me. Basically, a friend didn't need it from Sprint, so I bought it off him, and I've always kept it simply for one reason, and that is that it has an IR blaster. So whenever I travel, I have Samsung, Philips, LG, and what's another one? Sony. All TVs loaded and ready so I can change the inputs and go to HDMI on whatever TV at whatever hotel me and my wife stay at. So really great for that purpose. OnePlus 5 battery capacity, anyone know yet? No. We have heard rumors anywhere from 3,500 to 4,000, 4,200, but no confirmation yet, so we'll have to wait and see. I'm pissed off about the fingerprint scanner on the Note 8 not being on the glass. Yeah, I think that will get to a lot of people if it's not there. Do you think the Note 8 fingerprint scanner will be on the back? I don't know. I really do not know if it's going to be on the back because every render we've seen, although not real, they've been all leaks, have not shown it. So I'm really curious because if it is a vertical, right? If this is right below this, and they got so much criticism for this fingerprint scan on the side, where do you put it? Do you put it the camera right here and then it right here, like towards the middle of the phone? Do you put it just more distance? Where and what do you put it? Because Samsung likes their symmetry, so I feel like the camera will still be in the middle, and that kind of complicates things. So I'm really interested to see how it's going to be. I might get the Note 8 for personal use and the iPhone 8 for work. That's a good combination. Rigsby coming on the Galaxy S9 near you. I don't know if the Galaxy S9 has the specs required for Rigsby yet, but maybe, just maybe, it will have it. I'll have to, when the S9's coming, we'll have to test it out, see if it's worthy of to launch Rigsby. I mean, Rigsby it's a whole nother level. I mean, Google asked Rigsby how things work. I'm just saying, Samsung should do something like Moto Maker. Customize your own Galaxy would be sick. I would love that too. I would love to customize my Galaxy. I really do, see that, like things like what is the website called that customizes your electronics? Colorware or something like that. I love the idea of customizing my products. I would gladly spend like $100 more to get a custom color. But yeah, I'm really curious to see if that would ever happen. I don't think it would, because Samsung is such a mass production company that I don't think they would do something like that, because it would slow down production so much. Do you like the Xbox X? I do like it, but it has not convinced me to buy an Xbox. If we start to hear before launch they have this exclusive title, this exclusive title, this exclusive title, then I'll be interested. However, I will always have a PlayStation until Kingdom Hearts 3 comes out and until Final Fantasy 7 Remake comes out. Until those games come out, that's it. That's just, I'm holding on to a PlayStation. I will probably get a PlayStation Pro before those come out too, just because I want to play that with HDR and make it look amazing. Which means I need to upgrade my TV to have HDR, because right now I don't. Which is the best fitness tracker? There is so many fitness trackers out there. The main thing is to get a GPS on it. Garmin, I would say, is high up there, but it's a high price to pay. So while I would say Garmin is probably the most accurate fitness tracker, and definitely one of the best ones by far, it's one of the priciest. If you want to go in the smartwatch realm, you have Samsung and Apple on both respective OSs. And Fitbit has had too many issues, from what I know, of accuracy issues, so I do not know if I could recommend Fitbit, to be quite honest. They should make a clear S8. That would be very sexy. What do you think of the iMac Pro? I think the iMac Pro is a huge mistake for anyone that buys it. I think the iMac Pro, no one should buy it, because the Mac Pro that comes out next year will be way better than it, and it will be a lower price than it, and it just makes way more sense. If you're a professional, wait 6 months, maybe even a year, and the Mac Pro will be way better than your iMac Pro, and you will hate yourself for buying the iMac Pro. Yes, you might think it looks beautiful, but it is nowhere near the performance that the Mac Pro will be. So just wait for the Mac Pro. It's so much of a better investment. MKBHD even called it a trap. I completely agree with that sentiment. It is not worth the purchase, and no one that's a pro should buy it. If you have lots of money and you just want to, buy a sexy looking iMac, great. But if you want to be productive and think of the long run so you can actually change out parts, get the Mac Pro, which already is confirmed to be modular. What was it? S8? Where is the fingerprint scanner going to be located? Will it have an 18 by 9 aspect ratio, much rather than 16 by 9? So we have no confirmation on any of that for the S8. We have rumors saying that of course it'll be 18 by 9, because why wouldn't it be if it's a big hit on the S8? That just makes sense. But fingerprint scanner, we don't know where that'll be. We have no idea. As stated in the beginning of this, a Samsung Electronics official stated that it will not be on the screen. Now, if that was a mistranslation because it was in Korean to English, we do not know yet, but that's what a Samsung Electronics official said, that it will not be on the screen. If it's not on the screen, will it be on the back like the S8, or will it be on the power button? Where will it be, or if it will even be there is the question. Hey, YouTube tech guy, don't forget the Totino's pizza rolls. Hello, thanks E3. Yeah, freaking, yeah. Do you know where? Oh, sorry, a bunch of questions just loaded. Do you know where they will put the fingerprint scanner on the Note 8? Just went over that. Microsoft has since redeemed themselves. To be fair, absolutely, Alex. Microsoft has really redeemed themselves, but it's just a question of, is Microsoft at the point that more people will buy it? Because Microsoft has never really outsold the PS4 more than a month, and the only time they did was when they gave extreme discounts on their consoles, and that's why they won, I think, the month of December or November 2 years ago, or not 2 years ago, but a year and a half ago. And yeah. All right. What would you do? Get the LG V10 or wait for the Nougat? Wait for Nougat, or V20 and hope for Android O. The difference is about $100. I would get the V20. V20 is a much better quality, I would say, than the V10, and it's a better investment. Plus, it will get more updates down the line. I always believe in spending more to get a better investment for a longer period. Will the Note 8 have a fingerprint scanner? Again, I went over this a couple of times, but the beginning of the video was, and check back to check the sources, but a Samsung Electronics official stated that the Note 8, he called by name the Galaxy Note 8. This is the fourth time we've had a Samsung official publicly state that it is a Samsung Galaxy Note 8. That it will not have a fingerprint scanner on the screen due to security issues. Now, again, this is a translation from Korean to English, so could it be misconstrued in some ways? Yes. Maybe they're just saying they're having a hard time. Maybe they'll push it back. We do not know. Ricky, do you have any fidget spinners? No. I've not been interested in the fidget spinners craze. It's just not me. I don't know. It's not me. I don't know. So my YouTube Red subscription is about to run out. I enjoy no ads. You saying that YouTube Red comes with Google Play Music? Yes, you get Google Play Music with YouTube Red. If you're paying for YouTube Red, you get Google Play Music. So you already have a music streaming service on Google Play Music if you have YouTube Red. How is the fingerprint scanner on the Galaxy S7 Edge? Never liked the older devices. The S7 Edge was better than the S6, and the S8 I would say is quicker than the S7. So it has gotten quicker each console. Sorry, I keep going between video games and phones. Each phone launch it's gotten quicker. Android is shit. Got it. So the top selling OS in the mobile world is shit. You realize iOS makes less than 20% of it, right? Just making sure. All right. Fingerprint scanner won't make me decide to go with Apple. I'll stick with the S8 Plus. How much do you pay monthly for the service? I would do it. YouTube Red and Google Play Music, I believe, is $9.99 a month for new users or current users. I thought Samsung figured out the fingerprint scan on the screen. just wasn't done on time for the S8. According to them, it was finished, but they couldn't produce as many. That's what Samsung publicly stated with the S8. However, we do not know what further testing realized. Maybe they tested more and security wasn't as good. We don't know. We won't know till the Note would be announced. Perhaps they will name it Apple L-Star, a type of apple. Huh? Opposite of Macintosh. Got it. What about the Huawei Mate? I love the Huawei Mate. I personally really like it. I have the P10 right now. I do not have the P9 Mate 9 anymore. But those were two great phones. How good is the fingerprint scanner on the S7 Edge? I already answered that one. Actually, I don't have a monthly version, but I had a free trial of YouTube Red. So yeah, you just have the free trial. So once you pay for it, that's what it is going to be. iOS 11 stock screen recorder app. No one saw that coming. Yeah, that was a really interesting feature for iOS 11. I really like that feature. And it's a feature that other manufacturers have done. Huawei has done on a lot of their phones, so does Honor. And so we have seen it on phones, but none of the big ones. No, LG hasn't done it. HTC hasn't done it. Samsung hasn't done it, and iPhone hasn't done it, and Apple came out the gate first. They have a screen recorder on the phone, and that's a really big thing. Samsung has it built in to their phone, but they don't highlight it or make it easy to find. Unless you have something like Nova Launcher, you wouldn't even know it's there. But Samsung did have it for video game recording, but obviously not as good as just recording whatever the hell you want on your screen, which is really nice. So yeah. May go with Play Music subscription if it comes with Red. Yeah, it does. Do you think Apple can pull off the fingerprint scanner on the front glass? I predict problems. I do not predict it'll be as smooth as the regular fingerprint scanner. I think problems could be a possibility. Is there any reason to consider a OnePlus 5 over a Note 8 other than price? More of a stock Android experience? But we don't know what the Note 8 is going to have, so can't be sure yet. Is the Gear S3 Frontier worth getting, or just wait for the S4? I would wait for the S4 at this point. I mean, whenever Samsung launches their Note, they usually launch the watch with the Note. So I would wait at this point, but just know that, we don't know when it's coming out. You could get it in the fall, you could get it in the summer. We do not know. I hear Rigsby is only coming out of North Korea. So I want to address this rumor that's going around about Rigsby only coming in North Korea. First of all, he thought that dictator over there, wanted to claim that he created Rigsby. And I told him, did not happen. Rigsby is a privately owned thing by the YouTube tech guy, and he did not make Rigsby. So thank you for bringing that to my attention, Alex, as I do not want that rumor to be going crazy. Rigsby will launch in the US first. Best Bluetooth mouse. For those of you who do not get it, it's an inside joke that's been going on for weeks. The best Bluetooth mouse. Well, it depends on travel versus staying. So I, for one, love and would never get any other mouse other than Logitech's MX series. So I like the MX Master for my desktop one. It switches through 3 Bluetooth connections or 3 2.4G connections, or 4 gigahertz, sorry. So I can switch this between my desktop, my tablet, and my laptop, even though one is Bluetooth, or one is Bluetooth, or 2 can be Bluetooth, and 1 cannot be Bluetooth. So all of them work just off of the mouse. So I, for one, love that one. But best by far, best usability, comfort, everything. However, I will say this, that the Anywhere 2 is probably the best for on the go. So if you're looking for more portability, the Anywhere 2 is a great quality portable one. Again, you can switch between 3 different parts for this. And I am thinking about getting the 2S to upgrade from this one. It's just a little bit better because you can seamlessly connect to multiple products at the same time, instead of needing to switch between them. So that's really cool. All right. Is Samsung going to do away with the curved glass next year? I don't believe so. Why? The curved glass stands out against all their other phones. So no, I don't. I don't see why they would. I mean, could they? Yeah, sure. We don't know, but I wouldn't believe so. Why did you stick with the S8 over the S8 Plus? I didn't. Mine is an S8 Plus. I call it an S8, but it's an S8 Plus. I don't like Mac. Yeah, everyone has their preference. Everyone has their preference between Windows and Mac. I, for one, wouldn't use a Mac. It's just not an OS that I really like. I like the freedom to do anything, and Mac is a little bit too restrictive for me. But everyone has their preference. Some people like it. The simplicity is amazing, but it just depends on you. Just wait till third parties start releasing AR games. We'll really finally see Apple pulling ahead of the competition with their hardware and software. I honestly don't see people jumping on AR that much with the AR kit. To be honest, I don't see it happening as easily, but we'll have to wait and see. I think when it comes to the AR VR realm, Google and Project Tango is leaps and bounds above what Apple showed off. If you haven't checked out Project Tango, way more impressive, to be honest, than what Apple displayed at their WWDC. Thanks, Ricky, for answering my questions. Keep the great work. No problem. Samsung fingerprint scanner will be cleverly disguised. Wow, really? Any news about the Gear S4? The Gear S4. No, we have heard no official news about them yet. I think whether Windows better cross-platforming, this may push Xbox to the forefront. It's really interesting if it will. Lots of hype about the Pixel 2. I don't know. I'm really curious to see how well the Pixel 2 will sell. Again, the Pixel XL would have not sold as much if the Note had sold. If the Note 7 had sold, the Pixel X2 would not have sold anywhere near the amount it would. The reason why the Pixel has been backdated forever, especially like in Verizon and all these places, is because of that. Yeah. Last week I asked about the leaks about the iPhone 8. You thought I was referring to YouTube clickbait. I was asking you about what do you think about the specs that have been mentioned. Fingerprint. Like the specs as in, do I think the fingerprint scanner will be on the screen? I do. I have been misled at times in the years past for giving Apple more credit than what their technology came up with. Because, again, can they do it? Yes. But can they do it and mass produce it are two different questions and two different answers. Will it have issues? These are all questions that we do not know in terms of what can they do. So because of that, I will give Apple the benefit of the doubt. I will say, yes, they will have a fingerprint scanner on the screen with the idea in mind that they think they will not sell as many, but I do believe they will sell more than they think they will, and therefore be backdated till December with this iPhone edition or Apple phone or iPhone X. Advice. I had a nightmare that still over both pre-ordered Note 7s. Pre-ordered both, paid in cash, never got the 256 gig SD card. T-Mobile guy wiped my 256 card and all my info. I get under $200 for $500 access to, keep month after month. Amazon said Sorry, too long. If it's a T-Mobile phone, is it a T-Mobile phone or is it a Samsung phone? Either way, you should talk directly to Samsung about getting a refund. If you have a Note 7 and you want to get a refund, talk to Samsung directly. I think you'll be fine. I think they have to return it, so talk to them directly. Um, hey Ricky, would you buy a Surface Pro or a new Samsung tablet, or just wait till next year something better comes out? The Surface Pro 4 is a really good one, or sorry, the new Surface Pro is the latest one, right? The new Surface Pro, I would say, is a great product and probably one of the best ones to get right now. I would pick it over most laptops, but it depends on you. I mean, I still have a Surface Pro 3. It still does everything I need because I don't need to do photo editing or video editing on the go. Well, I do some photo editing, but no video editing on the go. So it serves my needs. However, could I do more? Possibly. If I would need more, then I would upgrade it. But as of right now, it still works great like a champ. It does everything I need it to. No lag, no stutter. So yeah. Um, do you have any vitamin C tablets? If not, try some green tea and honey. Lots of antioxidants. My wife has green tea and honey, so I might have that after the show. Yeah, sorry guys if you hear me sniffling my nose. I'm starting to get a little sick. My throat's a little raspy and my nose is so sorry about that. Um, try Hot Toddy works wonders on colds. Like the Hot Toddy song? I'm not sure. Do you think Samsung will bundle a Note 8 with the TV due to the cost that will break $1,000 threshold? Um, I don't know. I don't think the Note 8 will be that much, to be honest. I don't think the Note 8 will be $1,000 like the iPhone will. I think it's going to be closer to normal price or more expensive than the S8 Plus, but we'll see. Um, want to write the president of Samsung SEA to express the Samsung has had an experience. What do you think? Get somewhere. Stuff. So yeah, again, I would completely talk to Samsung directly for that issue. Um, hey, do you know if the S8 Edge has got Google Assistant? Every phone can have Google Assistant now. You just have to download it. If your phone doesn't have it, go to the latest version. You can get it on. You can get it on where APK Mirror. APK Mirror to get the latest version of Google Assistant, and it should be fine on your phone. That launched for all phones now, all Android phones. I think that had Android 6.0 and up now. Maybe 7.0, but your S7 Edge should have 7.0 by now too. Why are Gira 3 have GSM to use SIM card? I have a Gira 3 and missed that because I don't have a plan with Gira 3 in Kuwait. I'm not sure. I think they all have GSM cards. It's true, but that's just what Samsung released as the standard. I'm not sure why they chose that over CDMA or anything else. What's a good Microsoft tablet other than the Surface Pro for light Photoshop and other stuff? I mean, the Galaxy Book from Samsung is another good choice. Those have OLED displays too, so really nice for that purpose. There's lots. There's Dell. There's Lenovo. There's a couple of good ones for it. iOS 11 dark mode hit inverted smart colors is an accessibilities. TFR 56, that is one of the hidden features I was going to go over. So yeah, that's definitely a great hidden feature. Dark mode. Hot toddy is whiskey, honey, tea, and add lemon. I don't know if I have whiskey, honey. I don't know if I have whiskey in here. Thanks. Hey Ricky. Hey. Um, Oh yeah, lemon juice. Oh god, you guys just keep talking about remedies. Uh, do you think the DeX for Samsung for the S8 is a good deal? It comes with quick charge, I heard. Um, what could I use that for? It just charges the phone quickly, so it's like you plug in directly, but it's just like a dock for your phone instead. If you're not connecting it to a screen, of course. I like Dex, to be honest. I think it's a good feature for the right customer. If you have a monitor where you work, I think it's really good. If I had like more space, I would honestly set up a Dex table in my filming area because I already have a monitor there. So I would actually set up a Dex table if I could, but can't right now with it. No, Google Assistant is on most Android 7.0 phones right now, not 7.1. It used to be for 7.1 only, and then Google just gave it to everyone. So you are right that at one point it was like that, but that passed a while back. Um, how do you completely turn off Google Assistant? Because on the S8, every time I hard press the home button, it brings it up. You can just stop it from the home button pressing it. Sorry, I'm getting more as I go along. Um, how do you stop it though from doing it? Settings, widget, no. Autocomplete, no. Settings. Trying to see if it's under settings in Google Assistant. Shortcuts, no. Um, I'm not sure, man. I would have to look at it more. Sorry, I'm just kind of getting a little more out of it right now. Hey Ricky, I'm about to review the S8 Plus Pro tomorrow. Cool. Have you experienced autofocus issues when filming video like I have, 60 FPS or more? No, I haven't. I actually filmed my wife's niece. She had a recital today, and it kept focus really good. So no, I haven't. Not to say that there hasn't been out there, but I haven't at least. All right, guys, I'm gonna call it a night. I know it's only an hour today, but just kind of feeling as I keep going along. I'm gonna get some tea, gonna get some honey, and probably get something for my nose. So yeah. Your videos keep cutting out when you do the plugs at the end. Oh, I don't know why. Maybe it's because when I stop this that it just stops. So yeah, check out if you missed the beginning of the show. Just go ahead and make sure to check out our website, YouTube Tech Guy. We have a bunch of OLED wallpapers now for you guys to download that looks amazing on your phone. As of right now, they're only 720p, but I will make them to full resolution, which is 2K to 8K, which I have all there. So yeah, thank you guys always for watching. Make sure to give a like, thumbs up, and we will have a good amount of videos coming this week, and hopefully we'll be getting more products to review. I'm also going to do a Father's Day one probably tomorrow morning to have a new video and kind of answer any tech ones that you should get for your dad. Alright guys, thank you as always so much for watching. This has been RICKY, the YouTube Tech Guy. Give it a little bit more time so it doesn't cut out.